We track the gigabytes on our phones, the horsepower in our cars, and the sheer scale of the server arrays powering artificial intelligence. We are focused entirely on hardware specifications. Yet, while we monitor the performance limits of our devices, we often overlook the specific benchmarks of the biological hardware sitting inside our own heads. In 2013, researchers tested that biological hardware against a digital giant. They used Japan's K computer, a massive installation that occupied an entire server hallway. The K computer was a marvel of its era, packed with over 700,000 processor cores and 1.4 million gigabytes of RAM. The researchers tasked this behemoth with simulating a single second of human brain activity, representing just 1% of the brain's total network. It took the K computer 40 minutes of continuous, intense processing to output that single second. This 40-minute simulation reveals the significant performance gap between our most advanced silicon and the biology we carry every day. To understand that performance gap, we have to benchmark the brain's physical capabilities. For decades, measuring the exact speed of a nerve impulse was difficult because the signals moved too fast for standard cameras to capture. Recently, scientists at Caltech addressed this by developing diff-cup, an ultra-fast camera capable of recording video at 70 trillion frames per second. By filming myelinated nerve fibers, the insulated wires of the nervous system, they captured the precise velocity of an electrical pulse. The signals clocked in at 268 miles per hour. For comparison, tactile signals traveling from your fingertips to your brain are moving at velocities comparable to a Formula One race car. Basic sensory processing operates at speeds that outpace much of humanity's mechanical engineering. Speed is only the first metric. The second benchmark is data storage capacity, a calculation recently undertaken by researchers at the Salk Institute. Consider the Apollo 11 moon landing as a baseline. The spacecraft's computer safely navigated astronauts to the lunar surface using just 64 kilobytes of memory. In contrast, the Salk team focused on the hippocampus, the memory center of the brain. They built a highly advanced 3D reconstruction of this tissue to measure the microscopic connections between neurons, known as synapses. The researchers found 26 distinct synaptic sizes, varying by just 8%. This variation translates to digital data, allowing a single connection to hold 4.7 bits. Scaling this brings the brain's capacity to 2.5 petabytes, enough to hold 300 years of continuous high-definition video. This puts the data storage of a single human brain in the same range as a major data warehouse or the entire World Wide Web. The final benchmark is efficiency, specifically the ratio of computing power to energy consumption. Modern exascale supercomputers like Frontier or Aurora require 15 million watts of electricity. Sustaining that power requires massive facilities and constant cooling to manage heat. The human brain achieves equivalent processing power within the volume of 2 fists, and it does so while running on roughly 20 watts of energy. Biological evolution has arrived at an energy efficiency level that engineers are still attempting to replicate, operating a complex network on the power required for a dim light bulb. How does biological hardware achieve this scale of performance so efficiently? Digital machines rely on static hardware and separate software. The brain, however, functions as both simultaneously. Salk researchers observed synapses in constant motion. Depending on incoming signals, these connections physically grow or shrink every 2 to 20 minutes. This process, called neuroplasticity, allows the brain to literally rebuild its physical circuitry as it learns. The true power of the mind is this 20-watt system's ability to constantly rebuild itself, the very machine that invented all the technology